Hi, I'm Urvashi. I'm from TwoSleevers.com. That's my blog, and I am walking you through a 4-part series on how to take a recipe that's been written for stovetop or slow cooker or oven, and the principles behind adapting that for the pressure cooker. So in the previous 3 videos, I've talked about what is different about pressure cooking, what are the implications of that, the typical adjustments that you would need, and some of the basic principles of taking a recipe that's been created for stovetop, slow cooker or oven and adapting it. In this video, I hope you watch the other 3 because this video may not make sense without the other 3. So in this video, however, I'm going to take a very simple beef stew recipe and show you how you should think about how these recipes get adapted. Okay, so here's a pretty standard, maybe somewhat bland looking recipe for a beef stew. A pound of beef, couple of cups of water, a cup of onions, couple of carrots, mushrooms, and some tomato paste, and then whatever seasonings you want. Okay, and in a slow cooker recipe, or even in a Dutch oven recipe, for example, they might say, look, brown the beef and the onions, pour everything in, and cook this for X hours. Let it sit in the oven for whatever time in the slow cooker. Okay. When you look at this recipe and you want to make it in your Instant Pot or your pressure cooker, the first things that are going to be sort of alerts to you are 3 cups of water. That's going to make a lot of water because the beef and the vegetables themselves are going to release water. So if you start out with 3 cups, it's not going to be a stew. You're going to be drinking soup with like the odd piece of beef and carrot floating in it. So you definitely don't want to do that. The other thing is, it's asking you to brown the beef and onions because it's trying to create this Maillard reaction. And I have a separate video that you should watch to understand how the Maillard reaction works. It's very geeky, but it's actually quite helpful, I hope. In a pressure cooker, you don't always need to brown things ahead of time because the heat that's produced in it causes that Maillard reaction and causes a web of flavor to be created without browning. So I would, for example, immediately skip that step if I was making it in a pressure cooker. Pouring everything in, not going to work. Your beef stew, like those beef cubes, might take, I don't know, 15-20 minutes to cook, and by the time everything else is going to be mush. Like you won't even be able to find a carrot in there if you looked. Okay, and then cook for 8 hours. Obviously, you're not going to cook something in a pressure cooker for 8 hours unless you're making, I don't know, bone broth or something like that. So if I have to adapt this recipe, here's what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the water to 1/4 of a cup or 1/2 a cup because I know it's going to make a lot of water. The vegetables and the meat are both going to release water. I will put the meat and the aromatics like the onions, etc. in because the onions will release a lot of water, the beef will release water, and they'll both release flavor into that stock that's going to make it really, really good. Okay, I won't put the mushrooms and carrots, and even if I were doing like potatoes, I might not put the potatoes in. And then I'll cook it, at high pressure for 15 minutes because that's how I know the meat is going to take about 15 or 20 minutes. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to release pressure quickly because I need to continue the cooking cycle for the meat, and I don't want it to overcook. Okay. So I'll release the pressure, then I'll add the carrots and the mushrooms, and I'll cook it for 2 minutes at high pressure, and then I might let the pressure release naturally. Now when I open it and I look at it, I might think, oh, I need to thicken this a bit, and I might put flour. So one of the other things you don't want to do is you don't want to put flour into the pot initially, especially if you don't have a lot of water because the flour could scorch. So you see what I've done in this situation is I've taken a recipe that was, pour everything in and wait for 8 hours. It's something that I can make 20 minutes under pressure. All I have to do is I have to reduce the water. I skip the browning step, which makes my life a lot easier. And then I just do a 2-step cook where I do the meat first and then I do the delicate vegetables later. And if I need to, I thicken afterwards. So I hope this 4 series has helped you figure out sort of what makes pressure cooking different. What are the implications of some of those differences? So the fact that it's a contained environment, what does that mean? I hope it's helped you sort of look at, a typical recipe for a stovetop oven slow cooker and say, what are the obvious changes I have to make? And if you'll start there, over time you'll get more and more expert at it. And then I've shown you how to take a very simple recipe and adapt that. And if you have questions about this or if you have specific recipes you just kind of want a little feedback on, I'm on TwoSleevers.com. I have a Facebook page for TwoSleevers and a Facebook group. And the group you can interact and ask questions. And of course there's, YouTube here. So just post comments and I will try my best to get to them and answer them. And I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you will watch the other videos. And please do consider checking out the book that has 56 very easy Indian recipes that is now on Amazon. And I'm Urvashi from TwoSleevers.com, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you.